Human cloning is the creation of a genetically identical copy of an existing or previously existing human being. It can also be growing clone tissue from that individual.
I'll be the grapes fermented, bottled and served with a table set in my finest suit, like a perfect gentleman. I'll be the fire escape that's bolted to the ancient brick where you will sit and contemplate your day.
Human cloning is a bright human dream. Humans have lived on this earth for thousands of years. Imagine bringing back our ancestors, curing many diseases, or even suspending the aging process. Human cloning has been studied for many years and continues to grow in awareness and understanding each year. Do you remember Dolly the sheep? Well, she was the first sheep ever to be cloned, and Dolly gave our scientists an injection of large amounts of knowledge on the cloning process. This is how Dolly was made. With this knowledge, we could develop human cloning to benefit the quality of life and the longevity of the human race. On the other hand, the act of cloning could be a big mistake, which is why it has been banned for so long. Human cloning could be our claim to succession, or even our most fatal mistake.
So here's a list of animals that have been cloned. Not on that list, humans. Yeah. So just how important is cloning technology? And should we be worried about evil clone armies in the future?
Cloning has played a role far larger than I think it's likely to play in the future of science and medicine. The money, the ability to do something useful with cloning is probably over on the research side of cloning, not on the reproductive.
That means cloning to create stem cells that can grow into replacement organs. And while that's pretty cool, science fiction likes to take it one step further.
Although there are many people who would disagree, there are many future benefits of human cloning. Human cloning could be used to reverse the damaging effects of heart attacks, cure diseases, and save lives. Human cloning could also reveal the secrets behind reversing the aging process. Dr. Richard Seed, one of the leading proponents of human cloning technology, suggests that it may someday be possible to reverse the aging process in all human beings because of what we learned from cloning. We may also learn how to switch cells on and off through cloning, and thus be able to cure cancer. Scientists still do not know exactly how cells differentiate into specific kinds of tissue, nor do they totally understand why cancerous cells lose their differentiation. Cloning, at long last, may be the key to understanding differentiation, thus possibly curing all types of cancer. Cloning technology can be used to test for and possibly even cure all genetic and other diseases. Cloning could be used for quickly healing wounds with cloned tissue, as well as many other medical applications. Many current debilitating and expensive medical conditions and diseases could all be cured. An area also being researched currently is cloning of organs for transplants, which would make an enormous positive difference in so many lives. Scientists have cloned many animals, including cats, dogs, cattle, deer, and many more. Now you may be thinking, that's different. You can't just clone someone and use their body parts or even transfer someone's mind into a clone, but that's not what we're talking about at this time. In the future, once we have approved cloning and had many years of development, the moral guidelines and technology, we could do that. Different experiments could result in growing full human clones for reasons such as creating the perfect human, or even giving children to sterile parents. But right now I'm talking about the cloning of body parts to increase the quality of life. For example, if your liver is failing, we could clone out your stem cells and grow you another liver to save your life. If you have an organ that is affected by cancer, we could replace it with one grown from our unaffected cells. If we kept some of every baby's stem cells, who knows how we could help them in the future as they go through life. We could create many opportunities, open doors for both science and technology if we start with the approval of human cloning now. This is an example of how cloning is performed. This is human therapeutic cloning. Most arguments against human cloning revolve around belief, lack of understanding, and personal opinions. Playing God is one common argument. The belief is that by cloning, we are playing God, and this is outside our intended jurisdiction. Other religions believe that their God disagrees with cloning, and I think this stems from a lack of understanding. In some societies, being able to determine the sex of a baby is very important, and sometimes fatal. I agree that predetermining the sex of a child is not a positive step in our society at the present, but in a brighter future, with a world more knowledge and understanding through science and technology, we hopefully will be able to utilize the possibility of these choices. Another concern is that through the many tests and experiments before successfully cloning, many embryos will die, and that will also upset many human rights activists. I feel a pathway forward is for close monitoring of what is being done, and for scientists to do their best to only do what is needed and acceptable, while still pursuing ways to better our time on Earth. Do you approve or disapprove of cloning that is not designed to specifically result in the birth of a human being, but is designed to aid medical research that might find treatments for certain diseases? This is a graph showing people's answers. This is a graph showing why people disagree with cloning. Do you approve or disapprove of cloning that is designed specifically to result in the birth of a human being? This is a graph showing people's answers. These graphs was both created and provided by CNN. Personally, I believe we should move forward in allowing human cloning in some directions. I believe that the benefits outweigh the negatives, and by allowing further growth, many other opportunities will arise from this cloning. It will continue to better and save many lives in the future. As we have all experienced, death is obviously a part of everyone's life. Just imagine a world where your uncle didn't die of a car accident at 30, your husband didn't leave you widowed too early, and your friend didn't die from a disease so young. Not only could they have been saved, but could live long, healthy lives with the help of human cloning. We could save millions and develop a brighter future. Human cloning is a possible answer to many areas. If we make rules, regulations, and crack down on specific parts of human cloning, like the usages and ways you can do it, before we start, we could have all the benefits without the slip-ups or negatives. The suffering that could be relieved from cloning is staggering. This new technology heralds a new era of unparalleled advancement in medicine and science if people could just release their fears and let the benefits begin. Why should another child die from leukemia when if the technology is allowed, we could be able to cure it in a few years or even sooner? Let's save lives and change the world. Support human cloning.